Good morning, students. Welcome back to English class. Students, today we are going to see a new chapter in literature, that is chapter number 8, The Cherry Tree, part 1. Students, before going to see this story, let's do the warm-up activity. So all of you take the page number 72. The activity is, here is a picture showing the life cycle of a tree. Write the name of each stage of life cycle. Students, they have given the picture of a tree. It's a life cycle of a tree, and the 6 pictures are given. Each picture shows that the stage of a tree. Now what you want to do means, near to the number you should write the name. It means you should write the name of the given picture. For example, look at the first one. What is the first picture? It is a seed picture. Then what do you want to do? You want to write the name of the first picture, that is seed. So write the answer seed near to the first one in first blank. So like this you should follow the remaining 5 answers. With the help of the given picture you should write the answers. Okay, let's do the second one. What do you think is stage 6 in the picture? What happens to a tree after it dies? Students, here the question is, what is your opinion about stage 6? What is the stage 6? It's a wooden log. Okay, it's a wooden picture. What is your opinion about stage 6? They are asking. What happens after it dies? What happens to a tree after it dies? You can write your opinion in the given dashes. Students, look at the picture. Do you know who is he? He is Ruskin Bond. He is the author of this story, The Cherry Tree. Let us know few things about him. Ruskin Bond, born in May 19, 1934. He is an Indian author of British descent. He lives in Mussoorie in Dehradun. Okay, he got the most important awards in his life. One is Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for his novel Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. And next, in 1999, he got the most precious award, that is Padma Shri. And in 2014, he got Padma Bhushan. Actually, he is an author as well as poet. Okay, and his famous novels are Our Trees Still Grows in Dehra, A Flight of Pigeons, and The Blue Umbrella. Students, do you like to plant a tree? Okay, how many of you like to plant a tree? And how many of you are still maintaining your garden very neat and clean? This story is about how a boy who enjoys planting a tree and watching it every day. Students, in this story we are going to see 2 main characters. They are, one is Rakesh and another one is his grandfather. And the most important thing in this story is a cherry. Okay, a cherry seed. Students, this is the first part of the story, and now we are going to know about Rakesh, who discovers the joy of planting a tree and watching it every day. Students, now Rakesh age is 6 and he lives with his grandfather in Mussoorie. Mussoorie means it is a place, especially it is a hill station, and it is located in the foothills of the Himalayan range. But they live on the outer area of Mussoorie, not inside. It is an outer area in Mussoorie. His grandfather is a retired forest ranger. Retired forest ranger means once upon a time he worked as a forest officer, but not now. So that's why his grandfather is a retired forest officer. Rakesh stays with his grandfather and doing his studies. On the day when he comes back from school, it means when he returned back from school to home, he bought some cherries for 50 paise. Students, do you know cherries? How many of you like to eat cherries? Yes, it is the small fruit and it looks small, bright red color, and it tastes like a little bit sweet and a little bit sour. It takes half an hour to reach his house. When he reaches the house, just 3 cherries are there on his hand because he bought a bunch of cherries. When he reaches the house, just 3 are there. When he reached his house, 3 cherries are there. He went inside. But he saw his grandfather in the garden. So he went to the garden and asking to his grandfather, "Grandfather, take a cherry." So grandfather, what he did, he took 1 cherry and remaining 2 cherries are there. Rakesh ate the 2 cherries immediately. After eating, he did not throw the seeds out, simply keeping in his mouth and rolling until all the taste had gone. So what happened? After rolling the seeds, he took out the seed from his mouth and he kept on his hand. So seeing the cherry seeds, he is asking one question to his grandfather. "Grandfather, are cherry seeds lucky?" Grandfather said, "Of course, Rakesh, everything is lucky in this world if you make proper use of it." What he said? Of course, everything in the world is lucky if we make use of it properly. Then he said, "Okay, grandfather, now what can I do with this seed?" he asked. Grandfather said, "Plant it." What he said? Plant it. So he got a small spade. And started to dig. But grandfather says that when he started to dig, he said, "Stop, Rakesh, don't dig there." What he said? Don't dig, just stop your work because I have planted mustard seed. Look, there is a shady corner. You can plant your cherry seed there. Rakesh went there and did not dig because the soil is so soft. When you touch the soil, it's very smooth. So that's why he did not dig. Just he pressed the seed into soil and went out. After planting this seed, what seed is this? It's cherry seed. After planting the cherry seed, he finished his lunch and started to play cricket with his friends. After this and all, he forgot everything about cherry seed. Students, when it is winter season, cold wind blows and makes some sounds like a ooh, ooh, ooh in the deodorant trees. And the garden looks very dry and not covered up properly. In the evenings, it means in evening time, Rakesh and his grandfather sitting in front of charcoal fire. Do you know charcoal fire? We can make fire using of charcoal. And then grandfather tells some stories like people who turned into animals, ghosts who lived in trees, beans that jumped, and stones that wept. Wept means crying. To Rakesh, these type of stories grandfather tells to Rakesh. Rakesh also would read newspaper to him every day because grandfather has vision problem and his eyes become weak. Students, now it is spring season. What season is this? It is spring season. In this time, we can see wild ducks fly from north to Siberia. What do you mean by Siberia? Siberia is a place, okay? We can see, especially in this season, we can see wild ducks fly from north to Siberia. When Rakesh gets up early to cut wood, he saw the V-shaped formation of birds. And the birds are moving one after another from northwards to Siberia. This time he listened the sounds of the birds clearly. One morning, Rakesh bent down to pick up a small twig. Twig means it's a small branch, and on that time he got surprised because long time before he planted a cherry seed. No, now the seed is well grown. He looked for a minute. He looked the cherry seed for a minute, and he wants to say this good news to his grandfather. So he ran to his house and he said about that everything. Grandfather is asking that when he says about the cherry tree to his grandfather, he is asking, What cherry tree? What you are speaking, Rakesh? He is asking like that. On the time, Rakesh says that last year we planted a cherry seed. No, do you remember, grandfather? Look how it is well rooted and it came up. Grandfather said that, yeah, you're right. It is a cherry tree. So, what do you want to do? Every day you should water. So, what happened? On the spot, he went inside and he brought a bucket of water. On the time, grandfather said, hey, don't drown it. It means don't pour the water like this. Then Rakesh spread the droplets of water. What he did is just he sprinkled the droplets of water and made a circle with pebble stone. Students, do you know the pebble stone? We can use pebble stone for playing, or otherwise we can keep inside the aquarium also for decoration. So he brought some pebble stones and he made a circle with that stones around the cherry tree. After seeing this and all, grandfather is asking to Rakesh, why are you putting pebble stones around the tree? He asked like this. Rakesh said, for protection, grandfather, for cherry tree protection, I made circles. I made a pebble stone. I made a circle with pebble stone. Students, after seeing this cherry tree, Rakesh, every morning he looks at the tree, but it did not seem to growing fast. So what happened? He stopped looking every day. After 1 week, he came to see the cherry tree and he got surprised and he found that it has grown a little bit longer. That year, it's a monsoon season. What do you mean by monsoon season? Monsoon means rainy season. Now, this year is a rainy season. So the monsoon season came early and Rakesh walks every day. Rakesh wants to go to school. So on that time he goes to school and he returns back to school in the raincoat and gumboots. Do you know gumboots? That long rubber boots. Okay, I think the picture is very easy for you. It means you can understand easily. So what happened? Rakesh goes to school and returns back to school very slowly, wearing his raincoat and gumboots. Ferns jumps from the tree. What do you mean by ferns? Ferns means it is also a plant without flowers, just they have leaves. So we can call that as ferns. The ferns jumped from the trees and lilies came up in the grass. The good news is that the cherry tree grew fast in this season, especially in rainy season. The cherry tree grows very fast. Now the cherry tree is about 2 feet high. When comparing with before time, now its height is about 2 feet. Suddenly a goat came inside the garden. Who came? A goat came inside the garden and ate all the leaves except it left the main stem and 2 branches. After seeing this, Rakesh became very upset because the cherry tree, what happened? The goat destroyed everything, no, except the goat left the main stem and 2 branches. So I became very upset. And grandfather said, don't worry, Rakesh, don't worry, just leave it. Cherry trees are always tough and it will grow again. He said like this. Students, the first part of the story is over. The first part is over. We will see the remaining story soon in second part. Students, now it's time to read this story. Let's start. One day when Rakesh was 6, he walked from the Mussoorie bazaar eating cherries. They were a little sweet, a little sour, small, bright red cherries which had come all the way from the Kashmir Valley. Here in the Himalayan foothills where Rakesh lived, there were not many fruit trees. The soil was stony and the dry cold winds stunted the growth of most plants. But on the more sheltered slopes, there were forests of oak and deodar. Rakesh lived with his grandfather on the outskirts of Mussoorie, just where the forest began. Grandfather was a retired forest ranger. He had a little cottage outside the town. Rakesh was on his way home from school when he bought the cherries. He paid 50 pice for the bunch. It took him about half an hour to walk home, and by the time he reached the cottage, there were only 3 cherries left. "Have a cherry, grandfather," he said, as soon as he saw grandfather in the garden. Grandfather took one cherry and Rakesh promptly ate the other two. He kept the last seed in his mouth for some time, rolling it round and round on his tongue until all the tang had gone. Then he placed the seed on the palm of his hand and studied it. "Are cherry seeds lucky?" asked Rakesh. "Of course, nothing is lucky if you put it away. If you want luck, you must put it to some use. What can I do with the seed?" "Plant it." So Rakesh found a small spade and began to dig up a flower bed. "Hey, not there," said grandfather. "I have sown mustard in that bed. Plant it in that shady corner where it won't be disturbed." Rakesh went to a corner of the garden where the earth was soft and yielding. He did not have to dig. He pressed the seed into the soil with his thumb and it went right in. Then he had his lunch and ran off to play cricket with his friends and forgot all about the cherry seed. When it was winter in the hills, a cold wind blew down from the snows and went "hoo, hoo, hoo" in the deodar trees, and the garden was dry and bare. In the evenings, grandfather and Rakesh sat over a charcoal fire and grandfather told Rakesh stories. Stories about people who turned into animals and ghosts who lived in trees and beans that jumped and stones that wept. And in turn Rakesh would read to him from the newspaper, grandfather's eyesight being rather weak. Rakesh found the newspaper very dull, especially after the stories, but grandfather wanted all the news. They knew it was spring when the wild duck flew north again to Siberia. Early in the morning, when he got up to chop wood and light a fire, Rakesh saw the V-shaped formation streaming northwards and heard the calls of the birds clearly through the thin mountain air. One morning in the garden, he bent to pick up what he thought was a small twig and found, to his surprise, that it was well rooted. He stared at it for a moment, then ran to fetch grandfather, calling, "Grandfather, come and look, the cherry tree has come up." "What cherry tree?" asked grandfather, who had forgotten about it. "The seed we planted last year. Look, it's come up." Rakesh went down on his haunches while grandfather bent almost double and peered down at the tiny tree. It was about 4 inches high. "Yes, it's a cherry tree," said grandfather. "You should water it now and then." Rakesh ran indoors and came back with a bucket of water. "Don't drown it," said grandfather. Rakesh gave it a sprinkling and circled it with pebbles. "What are the pebbles for?" asked grandfather. "For privacy," said Rakesh. He looked at the tree every morning, but it did not seem to be growing very fast. So he stopped looking at it, except quickly out of the corner of his eye. And after a week or two, when he allowed himself to look at it properly, he found that it had grown at least an inch. That year, the monsoon rains came early, and Rakesh plodded to and from school in the raincoat and gumboots. Ferns sprang from the trunks of trees, strange-looking lilies came up in the long grass, and even when it was not raining, the trees dripped and mist came curling up the valley. The cherry tree grew quickly in this season. It was about 2 feet high when a goat entered the garden and ate all the leaves. Only the main stem and the 2 thin branches remained. Never mind, said grandfather, seeing that Rakesh was upset. It will grow again. Cherry trees are tough. Students, now we are ready to do the book back exercises. Okay, all of you take the page number 76. Let us see the first exercise, that is read the lines from the story and answer the questions. Okay, the first one is don't drown it, said grandfather. Actually, it is a line from the story. They have asked 2 questions from the given line. First one, what does it in the above sentence mean? What does it mean? It means cherry tree. Yes or no? It means cherry tree. Let's move to the next one. To whom does grandfather say that? So to whom does grandfather say this line? Grandfather says that to Rakesh. Yes or no? The sentence, grandfather says that to his grandson Rakesh. Okay, let's move to the second one. It will grow again. Cherry trees are tough. What is the given sentence? It will grow again. Cherry trees are tough. First one, who says that and to whom? Okay, who says? Grandfather says, because Rakesh was upset on that time, no. So he says that sentence to Rakesh. Let's see the second one. In what situation is that used? In what situation? Because suddenly a goat entered into the garden and it eats all the leaves of cherry tree except that main stem and 2 branches it left. Seeing that and all, Rakesh became very upset. So that's why grandfather says that don't worry Rakesh, it will grow in this season, especially cherry trees are always tough. He said like this. Students, now it's time to do the second exercise, that is answer the questions. Let us do the first one. What did Rakesh buy on his way home? What did he buy? Yes, we know very well that he bought some cherries. He bought a cherry bunch for 50 pice. Okay, let's move to the second one. How long did it take him to reach home? How long, students? Yes, it takes half an hour to reach his home. Let's move to the third one. Where did Rakesh live? Why were there very few fruit trees? Rakesh lived with his grandfather at the foothills of the Himalayan range. Especially it is an outer area of Mussoorie. Because there were very few trees, not that much, just 1 or 2, few trees only, because the soil was not good. It was very stony. Let's move to the fourth one. Where did Rakesh plant the seed and how? Rakesh planted the seed in the corner of the garden because the soil is so soft and not hard. So that's why his grandfather advised him to plant the seed in the shady corner. He did not have to dig. Simply he pressed the seed inside the soil and he went out. Let's move to the fifth one. How did grandfather and Rakesh spend their winter evenings? How? Rakesh and his grandfather sat in front of charcoal fire. Every winter evening he used to do like this. Grandfather told many stories to Rakesh like people who turned into animals, ghosts that lived in trees, and jumping beans and stones that wept. So these are the stories told by grandfather to Rakesh. Instead, Rakesh would read the newspaper to grandfather because grandfather has a poor vision and he became very weak. His eyesight was weak. Let's move to the sixth one. How did the goat harm the cherry tree? How? Yes, when the tree was 2 feet, suddenly a goat entered into the garden and ate all the leaves except it left what it left. It left the main branch, main stem, and 2 branches. remaining he ate all the leaves. Do you think all birds are migrate to escape harsh weather? Give reasons to support your answer. Students, this question is for you. Do you think all the birds? Because in this story we have seen that wild ducks moving from north to Siberia. So the same question is asking to you whether all the birds migrate. Migrate means moving from one place to another to escape harsh weather. And my answer is not all the birds, because a few birds such as ducks and geese, they migrate. They move from one place to another to escape from that harsh weather. Students, today we are going to see vocabulary in page number 76. Okay, what we are going to see in vocabulary, that is suffixes. Already we know about suffixes because in previous class we have seen briefly about suffix. What do you mean by suffix? Suffix is a letter or set of letters added to the end of an existing word. Because after adding a letter or group of letters to the end of an existing word, it became a new word with a different meaning. So students, look here, two examples are given. The given word is child and the given suffix is ish. When we combine these two, it became childish. Let's move to the second one. The given word is like and we added suffix as able. When we combine these two, it became likable. Okay, let's move to the second point. Sometimes we can form describing words or adjectives by simply adding the letter Y to the end of the root word. So what they are telling means sometimes we can form adjectives by adding the letter Y. Just we have to add the letter Y to form describing word. Look here, oil is a word. Okay, if oil is a word, when we add the letter Y to this word, it became adjective, that is oily. Okay students, now let's do the exercise, that is fill in the blanks with suitable describing words. Form them by adding the suffix Y to the root words in the box. Students, already 6 words are given inside the box. What we have to do means we should find the correct answer for the following sentence. After finding the answer, we should add the letter Y to the root words. Root words means that main words given in the box. After adding the letter Y, it became adjective. Okay, let us see the words inside the box. Luck, milk, rain, trick, wind, wood. Okay, let us see the first one. This sweet has a dash taste. So look inside the box and find out the correct answer for the first one. Taste. Taste means, so which one is correct? Yes, you are right. The answer is milk. But you don't want to write directly. What we have to do? We should add the letter. We should add the suffix Y to this word. So it will become milky. This sweet has a milky taste. Let's move to the second one. Wear a jacket. It is dash outside. So students, now 5 options are there. Just remove the option milk. Remaining 5 are there. You should select any one of the given 5. So which is correct? Which one is correct? Wear a jacket. It is dash outside. Yes, the correct answer is wind. Now we are adding the suffix Y to this word. Windy. Wear a jacket. It is windy outside. Let's move to the third one. The last question on the paper was dash. 4 options are there. You can select any one. The 4 options are luck, rain, trick, wood. Yes, you are right. The answer is trick. Now we are going to add the suffix Y to this word. It became tricky. The last question on the paper was tricky. The fourth one. He always wins by chance. He is very dash. 3 options are there. One is luck, second one is rain, and the third one is wood. Which is the correct one? Which one is correct? Yes, he always wins by chance. He is very lucky. The given option is luck, but we added the suffix y to this word. And the fifth one is every student had an umbrella as it was dash day. Umbrella means which one is correct? Yes, rain. So we added the suffix y to this word. It became rainy. Every student had an umbrella as it was a rainy day. And the last one, trees have a dash stem while herbs have a soft stem. So students, already you know the answer. Yes, you're right. Trees have a woody stem while herbs have a soft stem. Students, do it neatly and write clearly. Students, now it's grammar time. So all of you take the page number 17. Today we are going to see two modal auxiliary verbs. They are will and can. Okay, we know very well that these two are verbs, but these are used with other verbs to express that abilities, possibilities, or asking permission. So these verbs are known as modal auxiliary verbs or known as modals. We can use any one. Okay, today we are going to see will and can. Students, now let us learn about will. Already we have seen this topic in tenses chapter. Okay, now we are going to see in detail. We use will to talk about the future. When we talk about the future, we can use the verb will. Look at the example. The birds will eat all the cherries. It will happen in the future, not now. Okay. Let's move to the next point. To make predictions or simple statements of fact about the future. So we use will to make simple statements, to make simple sentences of a reality about the future. It means, for example, you will become a good cricketer. It is a fact about the future. Okay, it is a simple sentence of reality about the future. In future, you will become a good cricketer. Let's move to the third point. To state decisions that are made at the time of speaking. When we speak, at the time of speaking, it made some decisions. It makes some decisions. For example, I will carry the bag for you. At the time of speaking, we are taking the decisions. Okay. Let's move to the next one. To talk about what people want to do or willing to do. What people wants to do or they wish to do. On the time we can use will. My sister will water the plants. Okay, this is also the sister want to do that. So that's why we have used verb will. My sister will water the plants. And the next one, to make promises and offers. If we want to make promise or offer to others, we should use will. I will help you with your homework. Okay, I will help you with your homework. We can take it as a promise also, because I will help you with your homework means we are giving our offer. It's not a promise, but it's an offer, I think. And next one, with expressions like I think, I guess, I hope. When we are using I think, I guess, I hope, these type of expressions, we can use will. I think your brother will like these shoes, like that. Students, now we are going to see the next modal auxiliary verb, that is can. We use can to express ability. Ability means the way of showing possibilities. For example, I can solve this problem easily. It means I refers here he or she can solve this problem very easily. It means that ability, it expresses ability. And to ask and give permission. If you want to ask permission, otherwise if you want to give permission, we use can. Because if you want to get permission from others in polite manner, we use can. You can use my pen. It is giving permission. Can I borrow your eraser please? This is asking permission from others. Students, let's do the exercise, that is fill in each blank with can or will. It means complete the sentences with can or will. Let's move to the first one. Dash, you speak English fluently. Actually, this is a question. So, you are asking something to others. Already we said that if you ask something in polite manner, we use can. So, the answer is can. Can you speak English fluently? Let's move to the second one. The cherries dash turn sweet with this time. It shows about future. In future, the cherries turn into sweet. Okay. So, what should we use here? Can or will? Yes, the cherries will turn sweet with that time because it talks about the future. No. Let's move to the third one. He is very strong. He dash easily lift this box. This sentence shows that ability. Ability means which verb we should use here? Yes, can. He is very strong. He can easily lift this box. Let's move to the fourth one. Dash, you solve this problem in 2 minutes. This is also a question. So, the answer is can. Can you solve this problem in 2 minutes? Yes. And the last one is I dash help grandfather in the garden tomorrow. It means it talks about the future. Yes or no? It is talking about the future. And one more thing we said that to make promises or offers also we can use will. So here I will help grandfather in the garden tomorrow. Students, write neatly. Students, now we are going to see uses of some and any, how to use and where to use. Let us see the first one, some. We use some before uncountable nouns to mean an amount of, before plural nouns to mean a number of or a few. Just keep it in your mind, students. We use some before uncountable. Uncountable means we cannot count the noun. So we cannot count the noun. It is known as uncountable noun. So please have some juice. Here juice is an uncountable noun. We cannot count the juice. So that's why we used please have some juice. Please give me some biscuits. Biscuits means you can say, but in the given sentence we do not know the exact number of biscuits. So that's why we used some. Let's move to the next one, any. We use any before uncountable nouns and plural nouns in negative statements, not positive. In negative statements and questions, we should use any. Did you bring any bread? It is a question. Lisa refused to answer any questions. It is a negative statement. So that's why we used any. Before a singular countable noun when it does not matter which one. It means we use any before a singular countable noun. Countable noun means we can count. So before singular countable noun we should use any. You can take any pen you like. It means some options are given. In that given option we can take any pen. Any pen means it is a singular countable noun. Students, let's do the next exercise, that is fill in each blank with some or any. It means complete the following sentences with some or any. Let us start the first one. Do you have dash chocolates in your breast pocket? Students, reading this sentence you should remember that it is a question. Already we spoke that any, we use any in negative statements and questions. So what is the answer for the first one? Any. Do you have any chocolates in your breast pocket? Let's move to the second one. She met dash children on her way home. So before plural nouns we should use some, because number of children, the children is a plural noun. It means a number of children or few children. So she met some children on her way home. Let's move to the third one. We have dash butter but we still need bread. Butter is a uncountable noun. So we should use some. We have some butter but we still need bread. The fourth one, she did not have dash nice dress to wear to the palace. Nice dress. Here dress is a singular countable noun. So we describe the dress as nice. So nice dress is a singular countable noun. Before singular countable noun we use any. She did not have any nice dress to wear to the palace. And the last one, this is a very easy question. Dash student can answer it. It means any student can answer. So this is a very easy question. Any student can answer it. Students, write the answers clearly in your book. Students, today we have completed chapter 8 in literature, that is the cherry tree part 1, and we have done book back exercises of this chapter. We will meet on next class with another topic. Thank you.